This episode brought to you by the Bozeman-based combat veteran resource Warriors in Quiet Waters, hosting their 7th annual Warrior Taste Fest on September 12th. Visit warriorsinquietwaters.org to learn more. That sounds great. All of it sounds good. Okay. We're happy. It's morning time. And we're talking to Treatday Chocolates today. Peyton Freeman, who founded the company. It's a direct-to-consumer and B&B chocolate company based in Dallas, Texas. You specialize in bonbons with flavors like pecan pie, s'mores, and huckleberry. Yes?
Well, recently huckleberry.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to chat about chocolates.
Thank you so much for being here. This is great.
So would you consider yourself a chocolatier?
Yes, I am a chocolatier, which is a fun title to have.
Yeah, it's fancy.
In the world of chocolate, there are kind of two roles you can have. So you can be a chocolatier or a chocolate maker. So the chocolate maker is the person who takes the raw ingredients from the cacao tree and kind of roasts them, refines them, and makes them into this pure chocolate. And
they're called a chocolate maker?
So like
that's not nearly as fun as the
would they be
chocolatier.
Chocolate makers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, they would.
Like the bean to bar places are chocolate makers.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So they're the bean to bar, and then they make these chocolates that then chocolatiers like me use as our main ingredient in our product. So we get to have a little more fun with it and, do the fun designs and everything.
You take the finished chocolate.
Yes.
And then make it into fun stuff.
Yes.
Cool.
And they make special kind of higher quality chocolate specifically for chocolatiers that most people use, and it has a higher percentage of the cocoa butter in it compared to a normal chocolate that you would just eat, and that allows my products to be shinier and also have a little bit of a smoother texture when you're eating it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a specific place where you source your chocolate, or can you not share that?
Well, my chocolate is actually from European suppliers, so they kind of have higher standards for chocolate and just, are known for having a little bit better quality. So I get mine from Europe. And
fine European.
Can you tell the difference in flavor between the chocolate you get from Europe and what we make here in the States?
I would say, they have a lot of different flavors. I think it also depends on the brand that you go with, but something that I'm hoping to get into as well is you can work with single origin chocolate. Mm-hmm. And so these are from chocolates grown in like one geographic location.
Oh, you're speaking our language. Yeah.
Yes. So this is very similar to coffee, where you can taste kind of the flavors that you get from the soil and environment that they're grown in. And so this is something I'm hoping to get into next, where I can use those and you can really pick up on the different flavor notes that are in the chocolate.
We will have little chocolate tastings. We love some bean to bar places where we'll like have the different regions and try and pick up the different notes, because some will have like a blueberry flavor and some will have like a hazelnut background with like marshmallow, and it's incredible. It's just the region that makes the chocolate taste so different. But yes, you are making chocolates gorgeous, and chocolatiering takes a little bit of training. Have you been to a specific place to learn how to do these amazing things?
Yes. So getting into this, I started out with my background as a scientist, which was great prep for this, and then I went to a specific culinary program in Vegas that actually specializes in chocolate, which is great because a lot of pastry schools, chocolate is kind of just one segment of the classes, but this one really is focused on that. Right. So that was very helpful, and I got to learn from a bunch of other chocolatiers that were in the program with me as well.
Very cool.
So Vegas, and now you're in Dallas. Are you just chocolates melting constantly all over the place? How are you keeping
just on the pavement
your chocolate in one piece?
Well, it is a battle. I would say Texas is probably the last place that you would want to make chocolate if you had the choice. But the one great thing about the school in Vegas is, even though it's pretty hot there, they have very low humidity, which is very helpful for working with chocolate. Okay. But in Dallas, I have a portable air conditioning unit in my kitchen, in addition to the air conditioning unit just of the building to keep it really cool.
Wow.
And then
Like a swamp cooler, standalone kind of?
yeah,
Okay.
standalone.
Oh, take all the moisture out of the air. Okay.
Yes. So I have to empty out that water tank usually at least once a day during the summer.
We're from Alabama, so we know.
Yeah,
You're familiar.
we get it.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's been working well. And then there are different, if you go through the process of tempering your chocolate, that can help it be more resilient to melting as well.
What is that process?
So that is a process of taking the chocolate, heating, cooling, stirring it, going through a bunch of steps to get it to take on the most stable form. And you can tell when you look at a chocolate bar and it has that nice glossy finish and you break it, it has that nice snap. That's when you know it's tempered properly. Versus if it's kind of too soft and it's not going to hold its shape, then that's when you know it's not tempered.
It's
Can't
almost
believe
like
you don't remember that from Great British Baking Show. I'm so disappointed.
Is it like packaging the chocolate in itself a little bit?
It does help. If you temper it, that kind of helps you when you're making the shells of the chocolate, so then it can hold the fillings in for you.
And that's what you guys do at Treatday. People can find this at treatdaytx.com.
Yes.
But you're making bonbons. You're stuffing things inside the chocolate.
That doesn't sound very delicate.
You're putting delicious substances, accoutrement, and what do you do?
Infusing
Yes.
with flavor.
So our main products are the chocolate bonbons, and that usually is about a 3 to 4 day process of different steps. So I would say the first day I would get there and polish all of the chocolate molds. So there's different molds you can get that have different shapes. So right now we have like a heart and then a circle and then kind of looks like a juice zester as one of our other shapes. So you polish each cavity, which helps them look extra shiny when you
What
take
are the
them out.
cavities made out of?
The ones that I use are polycarbonate,
Okay.
usually, which is nice because they don't break very easily,
Yeah.
and it helps them look shinier on the outside.
Got
so you could polish them, and then the next step is to do whatever design you're gonna do. So whether that be color, or you can do designs with different chocolates on them. And kind of a cool tool that I can use for the color is a handheld spray gun that I hook up to a big air compressor, and it's basically the same exact thing you would use if you were painting a car. So I can do a bunch of chocolates at once. So that's fun.
Yeah.
So now they're polished, you have the design, and then the next step is to do the shells. And I have these big machines that kind of just have continuous flowing chocolate, like a huge chocolate fountain. And you can put the molds under there, and then you kind of vibrate them on the table to get all the air bubbles out, flip them over, and then you're left with the shell. And then the next steps, you're kind of going through the process of making whatever fillings you're going to do. So if it's like 2 layers, 3 layers, you do 1 layer. I usually let it sit overnight to fully set up before I do the next layer. And then whenever you're done with the fillings, the last step is to put a very thin layer of chocolate on top, and that's kind of the cap, and it holds everything together. And once that's ready, you can go ahead and turn the mold upside down, and the chocolates come out, and they're ready. You can't really rush it because certain things, it needs to set up, otherwise, it might mess up the tempering, and then it might melt, or it won't look as good, so.
And you have a scientific background, right?
Yes.
In terms of your undergrad. How does that play into all this?
It definitely set me up very well. So I've been working in labs since high school, and then throughout college and grad school, I was working in a bunch of different research labs, and there are actually a lot of parallels between chocolate and lab work, which you probably wouldn't think initially, but...
No, I would. I'm in science, and the alchemy of doing anything. I like the baking side of science in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very fun because chocolate is very technical, but you also have the artistic element of that. But some of the main areas that are similar is kind of when you're doing a recipe, it's similar to running an experiment where you change some of the variables, see how it impacts it, but it's more fun because you get to try out you get to eat your experiments, which is great. And
what's the biggest failure you had?
I mean, I feel like every day there's something that goes wrong. So
Right.
you're constantly learning. But the biggest thing is kind of figuring out how to get your working space, like the conditions right. So like you were saying with the heat in Texas, getting my kitchen cold enough has been probably the biggest challenge, because some days if it's too hot, you just can't make it, even though if you made the same recipe the day before, it was fine. It just won't work. So.
Whereas in science, you might have to have a sterile hood. She needs a swamp cooler.
Exactly.
Are there any flavor combinations that you thought, oh, this is definitely going to work, and it just didn't?
I'm trying to think so far. I would say the flavors that I have right now are a little bit more, I wanted to get the really traditional signature flavors down. So there's nothing super risky going on right now, but I'm assuming once I start going into maybe doing like an alcohol flavor or things like that, I would say the issue that I run into more is just making sure the flavor is strong enough. So sometimes you try it and all you taste is chocolate, and so I want to make sure that the filling has enough flavor that you could taste it through the chocolate.
So as you're doing all these tastings, do you still get the same dopamine hit that most of us get from chocolate, or have you developed a higher tolerance at this point?
I would say I'm still just as excited every day to eat chocolate. I think
Good.
I've always loved dessert. All of my friends and family have always called me dessert girl. That's been my nickname. But like, if I'm going to a restaurant, I'm looking at the dessert menu before I go, not the normal menu. So
Nice.
What is the science behind chocolate being so good? Why do we like it?
Well, I think it can interact, in areas of the brain that give you like that serotonin, dopamine boost, and it also, I think there's a lot of research that they're doing, like certain elements of the chocolate that naturally occur, like the flavonoids, can be linked to longevity, which I would be excited to see.
Oh, they are
more
linked to
about
longevity,
that.
for sure. No, there's been a lot of research done on chocolate, like especially the darker chocolates and things like that being linked to antioxidants and longevity and things like that. So people that eat chocolate they're probably just happier in general, which is why they have a better quality of life. But yeah, no, you're doing the world a good favor by creating longer lives, I feel.
I know you compared chocolate to coffee in terms of when it's single origin. What goes through your head when you're trying new chocolates? Teach us how to eat chocolate, basically.
I would say the first thing you could do is kind of look at it and see if it has that shiny texture. That way it's tempered properly, and that's going to make it have an even better texture when you're eating it. And then if it's something like a bar, you could kind of snap it and see if it has that snap for the tempering. But I would say specifically for a single origin, I would kind of eat it, let it melt a little bit in your mouth first so you can kind of like get that taste. And then I still feel like it's pretty personal, like if you like more of a nutty or fruity taste. But when I'm eating something like a bonbon, I like it better if I can really taste the filling instead of just getting chocolate. So I kind of just use the shell as something to hold it, rather than having that be like the primary taste that you're getting, hopefully, when you're trying my chocolates.
Okay.
Yeah.
So white chocolate, are you a fan, or do you think it doesn't even count as a chocolate?
Is it inferior?
Is it inferior to chocolate?
I would say I personally am not a huge fan of chocolate, but it has, it's
white chocolate.
Of white chocolate, of course.
Right.
Yes.
I feel like it's cheating. I don't understand
it. It doesn't have the cocoa solids like other chocolates, so it doesn't get that dark color. But it has the cocoa butter.
Okay.
But something that I recently found is a caramelized white chocolate, and I think that is very good. It gives it more of a caramel flavor. But white chocolate paired with fruit, I think, is like a nice combination.
Nice drizzle. Yeah. His mom really loves white chocolate. And she, lived in Europe for a while, so we would have thought, but yeah, man, she loves some white chocolate.
Yeah. No, and
I consider it slightly inferior, but also I think taste is taste, and you just like what you like.
what you don't want, I guess, is chocolate that has white on it. Is that bad when it starts to develop that white coating?
Yeah, that's definitely not ideal, but it actually is totally safe to eat. Like, it's not mold, it's not going to poison you.
What is it?
It is known as bloom, and it could kind of be, there are two different types, either fat bloom or sugar bloom. And so the fat bloom is usually if it melts a little bit, if you're not storing the chocolate in like an area that's dark and low humidity, it'll melt the cocoa butter, and then it recrystallizes on the surface and kind of gives it that chalky texture. Or the sugar can bloom, where it takes the moisture from the air and dissolves the sugar, and then that crystallizes on the surface and gives it.
So you can still eat it, Joe.
But either way, you can still eat it.
Something else on there.
But it's probably not going to be as good.
Yes, that's what I would say.
The chocolate has been compromised.
It's been compromised. I know. Yeah, sometimes like I said, like the temperature changes and things like that can change it, even if it's like a good fresh chocolate.
Yeah,
It's kind of a bummer.
it's sad, right? Makes
Yes.
you sad talking about it. A little bit.
Do you have a tip that you would give someone if they're just starting to work with chocolate? Like if there's like a number one thing, hey, listen, you have to remember this. Is it the tempering, or like what is the most important thing to remember?
I would say definitely the tempering is really essential, but even before that, just making sure you have a space where you can get the temperature controlled and the humidity would be the key, because otherwise you probably won't be able to do much. But I would also say don't be worried about making mistakes, because so far I haven't had anything that tastes super gross, even if it's not an ideal recipe. So
it doesn't say. Would Montana be a better place to make chocolate because it is so dry?
I would say it would definitely be a lot easier without the humidity, but then you also have you have to adjust the recipe so they don't dry out.
Right.
So it would definitely eliminate a lot of the temperature and humidity issues, I would say. I don't know about elevation too, if that would have minor impacts.
Elevation is hard. My fudge recipe, I had to tweak it over and over and over again, and finally figured it out. But yeah, no, elevation affects like a lot of the stuff.
But right now you've got it dialed for Dallas. You know what your conditions are going to be, and you can accommodate that when it comes to the chocolate. The way that you're getting your chocolate to people, though, is a bit of a challenge. You're doing a lot of mail order stuff at this point?
Yes. So if it's someone in Dallas, then I deliver it to them, which is easier, just so I can make sure that it doesn't melt before it gets there. But
you just drive it to them.
I just drive it to them,
that's so
which is
great.
nice. So then I can hand deliver, and I know it's all good to go.
Yeah.
And I'm in my car, like shivering with my AC like blasting. But that's what I do for anyone that's kind of in the area. But so far, I'm like, knock on wood, I've not had any issues with my shipping orders melting. So in order to get them ready to ship, I'll freeze them the night before, and then I pack them with a little ice pack in an insulated pouch, and then they're kind of just slowly thawing in the mail. But I wait until whatever time my UPS store trucks are leaving, and I drop it off right then. So it's like the least amount of time in the mail.
Wow.
What a hassle.
Yeah.
Totally. Should we
These
show
precious little chocolates.
So we're gonna have pictures. She does chocolates for events, and
They're
we
beautiful.
do have some special chocolates that she made for PBR. And it's not this box; it's the other box. It's far away from me. Joe, long arms. Long arms, thank you. Mm-hmm. She made some special ones. So yeah, you can go onto your website. We've got shots, but you can see it. These logos will be on here. You can see the pictures later on. But yeah, she could make things with logos that say Big Sky PBR or your hotel brand or anything along those lines. And it is so very cool. All right.
And that's all the questions.
We're going to the game now.
TreatdayTX.com is how you can order these. Maybe do some holiday pre-orders, getting the spirit of Christmas a little bit early, and do yourself. What is Treat Day? Where's the name come from?
We wanted to come up with a word that was new, and so it's kind of like the motto of treating yourself every day. So that's what we're going for.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so we'll move on to the dumb marmot game. And I think Michael's going to come in, and he and I are just going to eat chocolate while you guys do the heavy lifting here.
Oh.
All right, so we have Michael joining us. He and I are just going to eat chocolate. while we play chocolate news. Okay, not to be confused with the short-lived Comedy Central show starring David Allen Greer. I have written jokes based on news headlines that have to do with chocolate for Peyton and Michelle to deliver weekend update style. So they have to read jokes that I've written, and we'll start with Michelle, and they'll read the headline and then the punchline.
Now we're going to understand why I was never a news anchor. Awesome. Okay. A semi-truck loaded with thousands of pounds of chocolate syrup leaked all over I-75 in Michigan on Tuesday. State officials plan to dub the stretch of interstate the Hershey Highway.
There we go. Nice and soft to get us going. But you get what the game is now. Michael, would you like to eat some chocolate?
I would love to.
Yeah, yesterday I was like, it may be too early for me to eat chocolate. And Michael's like, I'll eat it.
I'll stand in all day long.
Chocolate for breakfast.
Oh.
To assist with the cleanup, the state turned to a specialist road crew of Oompa Loompas.
Experts are calling the spill the least offensive substance that a trucker has ever leaked onto a public road.
You guys are doing great.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Chocolate beer barred from sale after child mistakes it for chocolate milk. That's the problem with sippy cups. You don't get the full bouquet.
If there's one thing I learned from my husband, that kid is definitely wetting the bed tonight.
The child's parents became suspicious when they found their son passed out in his Power Wheels in a Taco Bell drive-thru.
Lovely.
You guys
Lovely.
are killing this.
Thank you.
Really
We're
good.
meant to
What do you
be.
think of the chocolate so
Meant
far,
to
Michael?
be.
Delicious.
These are outstanding. Mm-hmm. You know, the last one I got was nutty.
Oh, did you get the pecan? Look at your things,
Yeah.
y'all.
I think I got the pecan pie, which is great.
That's what this one is. Very good.
That's so
You
tasty.
eat all of them.
One more headline.
Chocolate chip cookie addiction is similar to cocaine, say researchers. Though I've got to say, dunking cocaine in milk is way less fun.
Meanwhile, oatmeal raisin cookie addiction is still not a thing and never will be.
Which helps explain why I saw Cookie Monster doing that homeless man the other day. What? Which helps
That helps
Doing-
explain what I saw Cookie Monster doing to that homeless man the other day.
Ah, yeah.
That makes
I'm
a little
gonna
more
edit
sense.
that. I'm gonna edit that out. Nice. That was my favorite song as a kid. Me Lost Me Cookie at the Disco. Yeah, by Cookie Monster. I played it on my Fisher Price radio over and over again.
This one is dark chocolate, by the way.
Dark chocolate's my favorite.
Wait, dark
yeah,
chocolate.
love the dark
or
chocolate.
You're eating.
I just got something that was
It's
like
not super
straight
dark.
caramel.
It's a little
So
more.
good. Sea salt caramel. Wow.
You really taste what's in it and not just the chocolate, too. So that's awesome.
It's nice and balanced. It is. Thank you guys for reading the chocolate news. Thank you, Michael, for tasting chocolates.
My
with
pleasure.
Me. Thank you, Peyton, for making these. These are
Do you guys have a
outstanding.
favorite so far? Was it the pecan pie?
I have not.
Sea salt caramel was probably my favorite.
I haven't had a bad
Yeah.
one. I
Can
just-
never go wrong with that one.
This has
Thank you
been
for your
so
time.
interesting talking to you, Peyton, and wonderful. Obviously,
Congrats
trying
on
these
your successful
chocolates.
business. This
Yeah.
is really cool.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, yeah. And anytime you just want to send us chocolates for no reason, that's totally fine.
I'll swing by
Yeah,
anytime I'm in
exactly.
the area.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, let's continue to try chocolates.
I think the pecan pie.